Well, hello, and welcome to another content modeling weekly lesson. I'm Marcelo Lewin, the Headless creator. It's Monday. I'm still on the weekend, so I'm forgetting which course this is and what lesson we're doing. You know, I'll get through it. I just need a couple more hours. It's very early here. So anyway, welcome everybody. I'm glad to have you here. I hope for those of you that celebrated Mother's Day, it was Mother's Day weekend in the US and in other countries around the world. So I hope you spoiled your moms as you should have done. I know I did. And for those mothers out there, I hope you've enjoyed your day. So today I'm going to be showing you how to reverse engineer the Eventbrite website and build a scalable content model to support events on your website. So obviously, I'm not connected to Eventbrite at all. I haven't spoken to them, but I'm just going to look at their website. We're going to reverse engineer it. I haven't really prepared anything. In other words, I looked at the site, analyzed it, but I haven't prepared a content model because I want to guide you through the process of how I model everything. So that's what we're going to do. Before we get started, of course, as always, I'm going to tell you about headlesscreator.com, and that's where you can get the on-demand version. You can see when you scroll down here, there's the Content Modeling Weekly course. Of course, you can go to upcoming lessons, and you can see there's tons of upcoming lessons this month. There's going to be more next month, and a variety of courses. If you're into Headless, I've got a lot of courses, and I got more courses coming up on different Headless CMS. So definitely check it out. It's free registration. So you're literally free registration. Just register for free and you have access to all of these courses. It's a pretty good deal. Alrighty. As you know, that is the end of my marketing stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and get back to me here. And what we're going to do is we're going to restart the intro because we're going to keep it nice and clean for the on-demand version. So when you watch it on my side in the course, you're not going to see any of the marketing that I just did. So we're going to restart the intro, and I'll see you back in just 1 minute. Well, hello, and welcome to another lesson of the Content Modeling Weekly course. I'm Marcelo Lewin, the Headless creator. And today we're going to build a scalable content model for events. And what we're going to do is we're just going to look at Eventbrite, which many of you, if you know that site, you can sign up for events free and paid. And we're just going to reverse engineer it. I'm not at all associated with them, affiliated with them. I don't work for them. I'm just going to look at the site and pretend that, where they've asked me to content model that, we're going to reverse engineer it and try to get as close as possible to what they offer. And then you can take that content model in the Miro board, which is available in the on-demand, and then use it for your own events. So that's the thing. Let's go ahead and share my screen here. And if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the comment box. For those of you watching live, I will answer them. And if you don't, that's fine too. And then for those of you that are watching on demand, obviously you can't ask any questions. So let's go ahead and look at the events page here. And let's go back to, we can do this. Let's see. There we go. That's what I wanted. That's the one I wanted. Okay, we're good now. All right. So here we are at the events, or Eventbrite, not plural, but Eventbrite site. And we're just going to look at an event and start modeling it. And if you look, you've got, when you click on the homepage, you've got the ability to browse for events. There's a whole bunch of different kinds of events, more events. But if we start looking just at this page, and we're pretending, we're here with the stakeholders of Eventbrite, and we're trying to migrate them into a CMS and content model it, right? If you look at here, we can start real easily by saying, look, we've got an event that has an image. It has a description, or not a description, a headline, and then it has a date. So that's pretty simple. But we can reuse some of that in the content model for here. So let's click on one of them. And let's do maybe this one, event for creators, since we're all creators here. Alrighty, perfect. So let's look at that. So what does this page have? So you want to take a step back here and not think of it as a page, but think of it as an object that's going to be reused, right? You're going to have, this isn't a web page you're creating. You're creating a content type that will hold information about an event that, yes, it will be displayed on this page, but maybe part of that information will be displayed on a newsletter. Maybe another part will be sent via SMS. And maybe the mobile app. So we got to think in a little bit wider and a little bit more abstract. Think in terms of an event, not a page, right? We are going to deliver it via a page. So obviously we have an image. There is a headline for the event. There is a company that's hosting the event. Then it seems like there is a start date and end date and time. There's some location. And then there's some information about it. So why don't we start by just modeling that? We'll just go ahead and, as you know, here's my template that I use. You'll have access to this on the Miro board under bonus in headlesscreator.com. Just go there and under bonus, you'll find it for this episode. But there's two types, right? There's the content types and there's components. I'm not going to go into the differences here. Because I have an entire lesson on components versus content types. So check it out at the Content Modeling Weekly course. So let's start and let's create a content type. We're going to call it event. And we're going to have an internal name for the event. Then we're going to have a headline. We're going to have a description, and it's going to be a type of RTF. Okay, so we have, so far, we have that. If we go back, we have the headline. We have an RTF right here. That's for them to be able to write whatever they want. See, they can go ahead and write whatever they want there. They can add images. They can put an FAQ. You'll notice that every event will be different. So if we do this one, for example, right here about this event, and this is just the way they wrote it in an RTF. And here, see, they have different. So they do have about this event. That's really the description, right? So maybe description is okay. And then about this event, we can call it that on the front end, right? You don't have to call it about this event because in the future you may have other things. So description is good enough as an RTF and a headline. So if we go back, we have that. We have a company now. So instead of adding company here, right, we could say company, but a company may have multiple events. We don't want to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to create another content type called company, or maybe we can call it event host. And we'll say name, description. We'll just leave it like that for now. The company here, or maybe we'll just call it host, is going to be a 1, 2, we're going to say many because we don't know if multiple companies may be hosting this, right? So I'm gonna just make an executive decision here, pretending that I'm working with stakeholders, and we go, yeah, an event could be many. I haven't seen it on their side, but an event can be many hosts. So we're going to say hosts, plural, 1 to many, 2. Event host. Okay, so, and that's a reference. If you look at my table here, yellow is reference. Okay, so we have an event, name, headline, description, and it has multiple hosts. Right now, we're just going to have Eventbrite in this one, right? We also have a date start and a date end, and then there's a location. So what I want to do, because locations, the way I think about it is locations could be reused. Again, we could put a location here, and then the location could be typed in here, like location online or whatever. But most likely online is a location that's going to be reused in multiple places. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a location. I'm going to say internal name. For now, we'll say description. But we'll adjust it later because right now it's probably going to have just online. But what about the ones that are not online? Maybe we need an address for that. Here we forgot internal name. That's my standard for the authors to be able to search for this. Okay, and then I'm going to say that location is a one to many. You have to have at least one to event location. I'm calling everything event just to keep it nice and organized. And this is going to be locations because possibly is many. And let's see, I think Bo said here, the list of speakers looks very great and more like a fixed format content type than just free text. Yep. So we'll do that. We'll deal with events later. The host is sort of the company. Alrighty. So with this content type or content model that we have, we're able to create an event, add a headline, a description, give it a host, and an event location. And let's see if that covers here. We have the headline, we have the RTF, we have a location, we have Eventbrite here, which takes you at the bottom. So if we go back to Eventbrite here, it takes you to their homepage. So if you look at their homepage, they have a logo, right? They have a description. And then these are all events, past and present. So it doesn't matter. You can get that from the events by querying that. That's not a problem. But in this case, we need to add maybe a website and a logo. So for the host, we have name, description. We're going to say website. I'm going to also add Twitter, LinkedIn. And of course, we could do, we can actually do a social media. We could do this. Or actually, we can say event host links if you really wanted to. And you could say internal name, link type, and URL. We could do this, and I'll explain in just a minute what happens here. And then we can do link type, if I can type it in like that, internal name and name. And what does that mean? Well, this could be through content governance. We can say, here's where we type in, like, for example, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. That's the link type. And over here, we'll make this a component structure, right? Because we just need the component. So really, we don't need this. What we need is the type, which is going to be a one-to-one to link type. Okay, and then the URL for it. Now, this gives us the ability, and then right here, we can get rid of all of these and say, like, look, we're going to just have links here, which is going to be a 0 to many. We don't need, we're making it optional because they don't need to have links. Event host links. And basically, this is a structure now. Instead of being, and look up components, which hold structure only,